You look at a superstar like Shohei Ohtani, and it's so easy to just go, wow, pure talent, right? But what if I told you his success wasn't an accident? That it was engineered by a system he built for himself way back in high school? Well, today we are diving deep into that exact blueprint.
So, the big question is, was he just born this once-in-a-generation phenom? Well, the answer is a hard no. His success wasn't left to chance at all. It was planned, meticulously, brilliantly.
I mean, get this, even as a teenager, Ohtani already had this super detailed plan. It answered the three most important questions: what to do, by when, and exactly how he was going to do it. This wasn't just some wishful thinking. It was a full-on roadmap designed to make his dream an absolute reality.
So, what was it? He called it a goal achievement sheet.
You might also hear it called a Mandala Chart. And its purpose is actually super simple but powerful. It's all about taking a massive, kind of abstract dream and smashing it down into tiny, manageable daily actions. Okay, so how does this thing actually work? Well, the structure itself it's just a beautiful piece of strategic thinking. I like to call it the 1-8-64 method. Let's break it down. Okay, first, it all starts with the number one. You take your single biggest ultimate goal, your dream, and you plant it right in the center of the chart. For Ohtani, that goal was insane, to be the number one draft pick for 8 different MLB teams. That becomes your North Star. Everything else points back to this. All right, from that one central goal, you then branch out to 8 core elements. These are like the 8 essential pillars that are going to hold up your dream. You can think of them as the main chapters of your master plan. You know, things like physical conditioning or mental toughness. And here, my friends, is where the real magic happens. Each one of those 8 core elements, you break them down again into 8 more squares. That gives you a grand total of 64 specific, doable actions. And we're not talking about vague ideas here. We're talking about the actual things you are going to do every single day. You see, this very structure is what solves the biggest problem we all face with big goals: procrastination, right? A huge dream can feel totally paralyzing. You don't even know where to start. But this method, it just vaporizes that feeling. It breaks everything down to one simple question: what can I do today? It completely eliminates that resistance to getting started because the steps are just so small and so crystal clear. So, you're probably wondering, what were the 8 pillars that Ohtani himself picked? What did he think was absolutely crucial for his success? Let's take a look, because honestly, they reveal so much about his mindset. So here they are, his 8 pillars. You've got the ones you'd expect, right? Skill, for his pitching form; physical, for core strength; and mental, for emotional control. But then he added things like the quality of his training, his knowledge of sports science, a super disciplined lifestyle, and very specific nutrition. And then there's the one that makes you stop and think. Luck. Yeah, luck. We're definitely coming back to that one. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This is awesome for a pro athlete, but what about me? What about my career, my life? Well, here's the thing. This framework is absolutely universal. For you, skill isn't about pitching. It's about nailing your presentations or mastering that new software. Physical isn't about some crazy core strength. It's about having the daily energy to crush your projects, the mental clarity you get from good sleep. And knowledge, that's just staying ahead of the curve in your industry. See? The principles are exactly the same. Okay, let's circle back to that 8th element, luck. Because this right here is arguably the most profound, most mind-bending part of Ohtani's entire plan. See, most of us, we see luck as this random thing, right? Something that just happens to you, good or bad. Ohtani, he saw it completely differently. He believed you don't just sit around and wait for good fortune to fall into your lap. No, you actively attract it. You cultivate it. You literally create the conditions for luck to find you through your daily actions and, maybe most importantly, through your character. The key takeaway here is just massive. He turned luck from a passive hope into an active strategy. So, how in the world do you plan to get lucky? Well, look at the actions he wrote down: picking up trash around the stadium, simple greetings, maintaining a respectful attitude toward umpires even when they make a bad call. He understood something really deep, that human nature, that positive social connection, that's the invisible foundation that holds up our biggest dreams. And this wasn't just some random idea he came up with. It's actually deeply rooted in Japanese culture. There's a proverb, Ichinichi Ichi-zen, which basically means one good deed a day. It's this beautiful belief that doing good things, especially when no one is watching, brings that positive energy, that good fortune right back to you, often in totally unexpected ways. This also ties into the famous spirit of omotenashi, that really unique Japanese sense of hospitality and being mindful of others. It's all part of the exact same philosophy. Your character, how you treat people, the energy you put out into the world, it all comes back. It directly impacts the results you get. All right, so now it's your turn. Let's talk about how you can build your own roadmap and turn your big, abstract goals into real, concrete actions. Okay, key number 1, minimize the action. A goal like strengthen my core is super vague, right? It's so easy to just say, I'll do it tomorrow. But do 10 sit-ups every day? That's specific, it's simple, and honestly, it's almost impossible to make an excuse for not doing it. You just do it. And key number 2 is to make it measurable. Acquire knowledge is, well, it's basically meaningless. But read one industry book per week? Now that's a clear target. At the end of the week, you either did it or you didn't. Simple as that. It creates instant accountability for yourself. So here it is, your 3-step conversion hack. Step 1, minimize the action. Make it so small it feels silly not to do it. Step 2, make it measurable so you can actually track your progress. And step 3, and this is a big one, visualize it. Actually print out your chart and stick it somewhere you'll see it every single day. That's how you keep your goal front and center. When you really boil it down, this entire system is built on one incredibly powerful belief. Shohei Ohtani's journey teaches us that dreams aren't just these fluffy things we see when we close our eyes. No, they are projects to be engineered, systems to be built, and goals to be methodically, deliberately achieved. So that leaves us with just one final question for you. What is the one big, audacious, maybe even scary dream that you are going to place at the very center of your chart? What is the roadmap that you are going to start building today?